Hello again, everyone. Some great comments again on the development of foreign language literacy this week. So thinking first of all about literacy as part of a primary foreign language curriculum. Well, it seems fairly unanimous amongst you that literacy is, and indeed should be, part of an early foreign language learning experience. Caroline recognises a place for literacy right from the beginning and says that literacy can teach children how to learn differences and patterns. In a similar vein, Elizabeth reports that learners quickly notice that initial letters in nouns aren't capitalised as they are in German. Cara tells how she noticed children write phonetically in the foreign language when her pedagogy was focused, as we often do, on listening and speaking skills first. She says that this was a real wake-up call, which impressed upon her the importance of teaching all four skills together. Bilal sees literacy as a vehicle for developing higher order thinking skills, and we'd agree here. As others have said too, literacy can be a really useful tool for comparing across languages and for emphasising similarities and differences that can be harder to explore in the spoken form. We'd add that Rosa Manchon, in a book chapter, asserts that literacy and the written form is important for giving learners opportunities to notice and reflect on grammar in a foreign language. This idea seems to support your views about literacy developing knowledge about language and also supporting the development of metacognition.
Many of you also had lots to say about pronunciation, and many of you acknowledge a role for pronunciation in your classes. Caroline, for example, regards primary foreign language learning as an opportunity to build awareness about pronunciation, to encourage learners to recognise that mispronunciations are a normal and quite natural part of the language learning process. She also recommends that teachers use pronunciation errors to inform their teaching, which is a really nice idea. These give us a real insight into what learners find challenging. Sylvia, too, says that she's passionate about pronunciation and that this is built into planning right from the start. She notices that pronunciation activities can be really fun for younger children. We wonder, too, whether working with different sounds and intonation can be a really useful starting point to consider learner identities around multilingualism and our idea of L2 selves, which we know from research can be an important factor in language learning motivation.
We could also see that many of you are experimenting with phonics. And we loved Cara's explanation of how each week starts with a phonics focus. How would you say this? However, we also notice that Cara says children can freeze when they're presented with longer stretches of text. And we agree, Cara. Her solution is to break the task down with her children, and to identify reading strategies that could help. For example, can we look for cognates? What about the pictures? What about the context? This shows us that phonics can be useful and important, but that we shouldn't neglect those top-down strategies as well. To do this, we do need to show children longer stretches of text. And with scaffolding like Cara's, they won't be intimidated for long, and we're giving them lifelong learning tools. Ian too uses phonics and gives the children clear messages that they don't need to understand every word in the text. This is so important. And as Patricia mentions, literacy practices like this give our learners the motivation and self-confidence to go outside their comfort zones and explore. So thank you all for your contributions in this final week. We're really thrilled that you've enjoyed our MOOC and joined our journey this May. We hope you found the contents useful and that we might have given you some ideas for practical experimentation. If you have time, we'd be really grateful if you could complete each week's off-platform questionnaire, because it gives us really useful information about the MOOC, what works, what doesn't work so well, and it will help us plan future runs or future MOOCs for that matter. Also remember that you can find resources from the MOOC on our Ripple website. So the URL is given in one of the later steps. Then do check our website. It's got lots of useful information about other things as well. And finally, do tell your friends if you've enjoyed the MOOC and found it useful. It's always great to know that other people are going to be joining it soon. So from all of us here, thank you very much for seeing the MOOC to its completion, and hope to see you again in another context soon. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.